Sacred Witness, Part 1, by Enric Milres. I have met countesses and courtesans, empresses and witches, ladies of war and slatterns of peace. But I have never met a woman like the Night Mother, and I never will again. I am a writer, a poet of some small renown. If I told you my name, you may have heard of me, but very likely not. For decades, until very recently, I had adopted the city of Sentinel on the coast of Hammerfell as my home, and kept the company of other artists, painters, tapestries, and writers. No one I knew would have known an assassin by sight, least of all the queen of them, the Bloodflower, the Lady Death, the Night Mother. Not that I had not heard of her. Some years ago, I had the good fortune of meeting Pelarn Assi, a respected scholar who had come to Hammerfell to do research for a book about the Order of Diagna. His essay, The Brothers of Darkness, together with Inya Gorming's Fire and Darkness, The Brotherhoods of Death, are considered to be the canon tomes on the subject of Tamriel's orders of assassins. By luck, Gorming himself was also in Sentinel, and I was privileged to sit with the two in a dark skooma den in the musty slums of the city, as we smoked and talked about the Dark Brotherhood, the Morag Tong, and the Night Mother. While not disputing the possibility that the Night Mother may be immortal, or at least very long-lived, Assi thought it most likely that several women, and perhaps some men, throughout the ages had assumed the honorary title. It was no more logical to say there was only one Night Mother, he asserted, than to say there was only one king of Sentinel. Gorming argued that there never was a Night Mother, at least no human one. The Night Mother was Mephala herself, whom the Brotherhood revered second only to Thithis. I don't suppose there's any way of knowing for certain, I said in a note of diplomacy. Certainly there is, whispered Gorming with a grin. You could talk to that cloaked fellow in the corner. I had not noticed the man before, who sat by himself, eyes hidden by his cloak, seemingly as much a part of the dingy place as the rough stone and unswept floor. Turning back to Enir, I asked him why that man would know about the Night Mother. He's a dark brother, hissed Pelarn Assi. That's as plain as the moon's. Don't even joke about speaking with him about her. We moved on to other arguments about the Morag Tong and the Brotherhood, but I never forgot the image of the lone man looking at nothing and everything, in the corner of the dirty room with fumes of skooma smoke floating around him like a ghost. When I saw him weeks later on the streets of Sentinel, I followed him. Yes, I followed him. The reader may reasonably ask why and how. I don't blame you for that. How was simply a question of knowing my city as well as I do. I'm not a thief, not particularly sure-footed and quiet, but I know the alleys and streets of Sentinel intimately, from decades' worth of ambling. I know which bridges creak, which buildings cast long irregular shadows, the intervals at which the native birds begin the ululations of their evening songs. With relative ease I kept pace with Dark Brother, and out of his sight and hearing. The answer to why is even simpler. I have the natural curiosity of the born writer. When I see a strange animal, I must observe. It is the writer's curse. I trailed the cloaked man deeper into the city, down an alleyway so narrow it was scarcely a crack between two tenements, past a crooked fence, and suddenly, miraculously, I was in a place I had never seen before. A little courtyard cemetery with a dozen old half-rotted wooden tombstones. None of the surrounding buildings had windows that faced it, so no one knew this miniature necropolis existed. No one except the 6 men and 1 woman standing in it, and me. The woman saw me immediately and gestured for me to come closer. I could have run, but no, I couldn't have. I had pierced the mystery right in my adopted Sentinel, and I could not leave it. She knew my name, and she said it with a sweet smile. The Night Mother was a little old lady with fluffy white hair, cheeks like wrinkled apples that still carried the flush of youth, friendly eyes, blue as Iliac Bay. She softly took my arm as we sat down amidst the graves and discussed murder. She was not always in Hammerfell, not always available for direct assignment, but it seemed she enjoyed actually talking to her clientele. "I did not come here to hire the Brotherhood," I said respectfully. "Then why are you here?" the Night Mother asked, her eyes never leaving mine. I told her I wanted to know about her. I did not expect an answer to that, but she told me.